Hey guys, Brett here, and today I want to show you something interesting about a software that's about to be released in a couple of hours called FaceDrip. So I actually got access to it a couple of days ago, and I logged in and I started testing the software out, just like I always do before I create a review of the software. Right away, though, I noticed a couple of really interesting things. So when I went over here to the video section, I noticed that the videos have these black boxes on the left and right hand side of it. And this is not just on this preview in the editor. If I actually go to the URL here, I'll copy this URL. I'll go over to the URL. And you can see even on the pages this creates, the videos have these black boxes on the left and right hand side. And honestly, this looks pretty much terrible. I mean, if I go ahead and I play this, it absolutely looks terrible like that. There's no reason for it to be like that. And honestly, I mean, that looks pretty terrible. Having these black boxes on the left hand and right hand side of the video player just looks amateurish. It doesn't look right. It looks poorly. And incidentally, these are not mobile responsive pages. If you resize it, it is not mobile responsive either. It looks poorly when you resize it as well. Let me go ahead and try to resize here, and I'll show you what I mean. So if I go ahead and resize on a mobile device, you can see I'm actually going to have a huge black box on the top and on the bottom of the video player. So it's going to look even worse on a mobile device, which is super important now because so many people are on mobile devices these days. So I noticed that that was a problem. These black boxes are a problem. The fact that it's not mobile responsive correctly is a big problem with this player. Another issue that I noticed is that when you change things, so when you go ahead and make a change to the editor, it gives you this little notice on the upper right hand side that says that the video has been updated. Now, if you go ahead and do something like use the color picker to change the color of the video player, it actually spams that notification, and it's very intrusive. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So I'll go ahead and change the color. You see all those success pop-ups that just popped up saying the video's been updated? I mean, it just spams it over and over and over again, and that's obviously a bug as well. Now, I messaged the vendor about this about a day and a half ago, and when I messaged him, I also asked him a question. I asked him when he started beta testing and how many testers did he have. Now, he responded by showing me this internal doc, which really didn't tell me anything, so I said that doesn't answer the question, but thanks anyway. Then he responded by saying, we started with our in-project testers and have been testing and updating for over a year. So he claims that they've been testing and updating this software for over a year. So that made me want to ask the question, the obvious question. In a year, you've been testing this and updating this for a year, and nobody noticed that the video player is not mobile responsive and has these black boxes on the left and right-hand side of them? Nobody noticed the issue with the color picker and spamming those pop-ups all over the screen when you change the color? His answer was, yeah, I missed it. I missed it. So he's been testing for a year. I didn't notice these glaring issues with his software. All righty. Is it possible that he wasn't actually testing for a year? I think that's more likely. But whatever, I told him about it. I even gave him screenshots of the issues so that he can see. And he responded by saying, fixing known observations isn't and would never be a problem for us. All right, that's great. Good to know. Except for, I told you about this a day and a half ago. You're about to launch this software, and you still have these bugs, these glaring bugs, these amateur level bugs that shouldn't exist in your software. A software that you supposedly have been creating and testing for a year. Right. Well, this is why I didn't promote FaceDrip, because this is it for me. I mean, just seeing that there's these bugs on here that I took the time to point them out to the vendors, and the vendor doesn't even care about having a quality product enough to fix these bugs before he launches this software to the public is enough for me to not want to promote it. Right there, I'm not interested anymore. But what is interesting, though, is that a ton of affiliates are going to be promoting this. A ton of affiliates are going to be telling you how great this software is, how it's the next must buy, how you have to get it because it's so awesome. And you know what the thing is? These affiliates, most of them, will not have even looked at this software because they don't care about you. They just want your money. Think about that. This is not a software that anybody who is reasonable or actually cares about quality should be putting their brand of approval, their stamp of approval on. But a lot of people are going to be doing it just because they want your money. Keep that in mind when you get emails from them. Keep that in mind when they're telling you to buy this. Thank you and enjoy.